Hey guys, Jim here with a quick little video to show you one of my favorite new old toys and how just a simple little modification can completely breathe new life into something you may have had sitting around for a while, something you may have gotten bored with. You've gotten new toys. That's what you're focusing on. They're the exciting thing. And when you can take one of your old favorites and revitalize it, give it a facelift, pimp it out, whatever you want to call it, and bring that excitement back that you had for it. It's such a cool and amazing thing. And I did that recently with my Reeve Umnumzaan, which has always been one of my top favorite knives. I believe the Umnumzaan and the large Sebenza are pretty much the absolute symbols for perfection when it comes to a daily carry pocket knife. There's not really much of anything that you can't do with one or the other. I always looked at the Umnumzaan as being a little bit more of a workhorse, maybe even more of a tactical knife as compared to a Sebenza, but having a few of each, it's easy just to kind of pick which one you want to carry that day and make it so. What I did was, here's how your titanium would have looked standard on the Umnumzaan, just that rough finish, that raw look of titanium. Obviously, this side is all dolled up and all pretty on my Sebenza with the Damascus blade, but this is pretty much the overall look that the knife had before. And what I did was recently made friends with Chris Martin over at Phantom Steelworks. He made this for me, the unbelievably gorgeous PF1 flipper. You can see the video that I did on this one on my YouTube channel. And I fell so in love with this knife overall and the mech texture that he does, the heat treating that he does. I said, you know what? I said, I've got my Umnumzaan, which I absolutely love. It is a daily carry for me. It's something that I use often. I abuse it. And I'd love to give it a little bit of a facelift and make it unique. And I've seen, if you go out on Google and do some image searching and video searching, there are some people that have pimped out their Umnumzaans a little bit. Maybe they've anodized the slabs, or maybe, not anodized, but actually, yeah, some guys, I've seen blue and I've seen green anodized. I've seen some guys just anodize their hardware, but nobody really did anything that really made it completely custom. So I said, you know what? I said, I want you just to kind of go to town on this thing, etch the living shit out of it, break out the blowtorch, do some file work, do whatever you want to do, and just have fun with it. And what he did is nothing short of amazing. Starting off, just looking at the edges of the slabs, all of this incredible work that he's done, and I'm going to do my best to get as close as I can here. I can't imagine how long it takes him to do all this by hand, but he does incredible work. Just gorgeous. And not an, not an area left untouched on this entire knife. We were actually going to be doing the mech work that you see on the blade here. We were going to do it on this blade, but this being a second generation Umnumzaan, these are pressure fit on the thumb studs. So it's pretty much impossible to get them out and get them back in without damaging them. So he would have had to have removed those in order to do the etching that he does. So we just kind of left that alone for right now. What he did do was amazing work on the spine of the blade. Just incredible. It just looks like it was all hammered out. Really, really cool work. My favorite feature of this is the color shift that you get. And if I change my lighting here, let me take away my boom light for a second. You kind of see how everything goes mainly to this bronze color. And when the light comes in, all of a sudden it just turns into like fire. You see the reds and the purples and the blues just come screaming out of it. And the colors shift as you move it in the light. So what I ended up with was a complete one-of-a-kind Umnumzaan that I can be proud of carrying and showing off, just like I would on more of my showy pieces like this, instead of just having kind of a tool knife in my pocket, which it's still going to get used, it's still going to get abused, it's still going to be cherished the same way that it was. Still one of my favorite blades. I love the top swedge on this. Still one of my favorite knives overall, something that I can get a handle on and use every single day. This thing has cut more boxes probably than any other knife that I own. But now it's something it really is a showpiece. When you whip this out of your pocket, people are just going to go, wow, what is that? I've never seen anything like it. All the incredible etch work that's been done throughout all of the titanium. I love that he left the lock bar stabilizer kind of intact and just kind of went for more of a blue effect on that. It gives it a nice contrast against the golden browns and the purples that are running through the main portions. So Chris, once again, I just got to tell you, I've told you a million times, through text message or whatever, how amazed I am with this knife, what incredible work you've done. But I just have to say it again. It's a true work of art now. It's something I'm proud of in every respect, something I will never get rid of. And I hope that people seeing this video realize that this is the kind of stuff that can be achieved on pretty much any titanium knife you get your hands on. I mean, and honestly, he can do the same etching in steel if it was a lesser expensive knife with stainless steel or maybe even aluminum. But the heat treating, the fire treatment that you're seeing on here is what really makes this come alive. So this is the most one-of-a-kind, most custom Umnumzaan that I've seen, except for the one very limited run that Chris Reeve did when he first released the Umnumzaan. He did a nice pattern in the slabs, but I think there were only like 2 or 3 of those that were even made, period, and you're never going to get one in your hands. It was made for Plaza Cutlery. You can actually look on Plaza Cutlery's website, and I think you can still find the archive of that custom Umnumzaan. But I didn't want to just anodize it one color in blue or green or purple or anything else. I really wanted something unique. I wanted the extra texture added. It looks great. It feels great. I mean, he really, really knocked this out of the park. So obviously you can tell I'm extremely excited about this. I don't typically gush about anything, but when you see the level of craftsmanship that's been put into this, it kind of deserves some gushing. It really deserves it. So Chris, again, thank you so very much. Anybody that wants to get something similar done to any of their knives, whether it be Chris Reeve or anything else, maybe you've got a Hoback you want to put a little bit of heat treatment to, a little bit of extra work to. Maybe you've got a VECP Les George that you want to add a little bit of life to. Send it over to him. Contact him over at phantomsteelworks.com. He is an amazing guy to deal with, a super attitude, a lot of fun to talk to, and he's crazy. I mean, he will do pretty much anything, and it's so aggressive, and it's so, I don't want to say practical because nothing it looks like this is, what you would consider to be practical, but it is still very, very useful. What he does doesn't take away from the usefulness. If anything, it adds a little bit more usefulness. It's not quite as severe as hard jimping, but you've got a little bit more purchase on these handles now. So there is your last look at what I think is the most beautiful Umnumzaan ever created. Wow. I own it and I'm still in awe over it. Definitely hit the dude up. Get some custom work done. He is amazing. So if you have any questions, just hit me up and let me know. Thanks a lot.